Good day all. Mr. Mulelo Xaso, as Secretary of the National Assembly, you are obligated in terms of Section 44(4) of the Constitution when exercising your legislative authority. Parliament is bound only by the Constitution and must act in accordance with and within the limits of the Constitution. Mr. Xaso, what I am asking you is nothing out of the context of your mandate. There's a matter of national security that must be heard. And national security, like the Constitution and the law, is operating 24/7. I have come to Parliament as a juristic person and in accordance with the constitutional terms that are before you as the Secretary to the National Assembly. And you are obligated in terms of the Constitution to act and respond to the matter. What you have there did not write itself. What you have there, it's for the sake of your church, Mr. Xaso. It's for the sake of the people in your church, Mr. Xaso. It's for the sake of the people in your community, Mr. Xaso. It is for the sake of the people of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Xaso. So when the Constitution imposes an obligation that everybody must obey it, that is what must happen. To find an excuse to say, no, we cannot grant you as a juristic person or a natural person or a person equal before the law your constitutional guarantees and rights and participation in democracy. It is wrong, Mr. Xaso. Mr. Xaso, you are the Secretary to the National Assembly. I have nothing in person with you. I have nothing personal with you. I am just serving and defending the country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. The Speaker of Parliament has a duty to play in terms of Rule 130 of the National Assembly rules. And Rule 33 of the National Assembly rules imposes an obligation to all members of the National Assembly to act in accordance with those particular rules. I have made a submission. For you to be saying I'm the Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of South Africa, but I'm going to ignore one member of the Republic of South Africa for personal gain or political motive or any other reason is indirect assault to the constitutional supremacy and the rule of law of the Republic. I cannot have my children looking at Parliament failing to account to its people as obligated. Fellow South Africans, my job is to serve and defend you. In serving and defend you, and defending you as security of the Republic, I must do that in accordance with the Constitution and the law as I am doing. What you're now seeing is that Parliament refuses to act in accordance with the Constitution and the law. It's fine. It is people in Parliament that are refusing to act in accordance with the Constitution and the law and give effect to the national anthem that affect all of us. Fellow South Africans, talk to Mr. Xaso to do his job without fear, favor, or prejudice. Prejudice includes not prejudicing me as a person, not to my rights. I have done everything in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Mr. Xaso, do everything in accordance with the Constitution and the law as the secretary. I do not want excuses from you. I don't want any other thing that people are busy with the tsunamis or the elections or whatever. I only want you, Mr. Xaso, to abide by the rules of Parliament and understand that Parliament serves all more than 60 million people in the Republic of South Africa. At any given time. It does not mean because somebody is sleeping with somebody elsewhere making love, then Parliament stops functioning. It does not mean that when there are elections at play, then Parliament stops functioning, especially local elections. You are leaders in Parliament. When you say, my comrades, please facilitate the issue of elections, that is what your comrades will do. But that does not absolve you from the statutory terms of Section 44(4) of the Constitution as Parliament that must act in accordance with the Constitution, because if you act in accordance with the Constitution, you understand that the Constitution is applicable at any given time, anywhere, to any person that is associated with Parliament. And Parliament is associated with everybody, including the family of nations. So we cannot have excuses. We cannot run our country and our organs of state with excuses. I beg to all of you to understand the reality at play and understand that all people are equal before the law, and that the Constitution is the supreme law. Law or conduct, Mr. Xaso, that is inconsistent with it is invalid. So for you, Mr. Xaso, to be saying no, we are not going to allow Mangolele to come in, it is invalid. I am a person. I have a voice. I have children that I have to represent, and Section 8(2) of the Children's Act, Mr. Xaso, obligates you as a person, be it natural person or juristic person, to respect my children. Without any further ado, I ask you to direct as to when this particular matter can be heard in accordance with its terms. I do not need to embarrass you and let the public read the statutory rules of the National Assembly in relation to this matter. I have done that in another platform. I trust as Secretary of the National Assembly, Mr. Xaso, you understand the rules and you understand what people must do, and then you understand what each and every person must do after what I have done has happened. And to keep quiet and run away from it and hope that Mangolele will disappear. I cannot disappear away from South Africa. I am a South African with a voice, with a right, with every other right, just like you, Mr. Xaso. Just like you as any other member of Parliament working in Parliament. Allow me in, vulani umunyango wase Parliament, sizo sebenzisa Section 89 of the Constitution and remove the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is obligating people or subjecting people to continuously say to God that they want to live and struggle or attempt or strive or endeavor or try hard or go all out for freedom in South Africa, our land. We are not slaves in our land. We cannot be forced to pray to God that we want to live and struggle or attempt for freedom in South Africa, our land, as we do in the national anthem. Mr. Xaso, put an end to this nonsense of slavery to my country and its people. You are the Secretary of the National Assembly. All matters in the National Assembly are your responsibility, under the direction of the Speaker. I do not care who the speaker's name is. The speaker is a functionary of state, and the speaker must function in accordance with the constitution or the law and the rules of parliament, period. Whether you think I've got personal issues with the speaker or any other person who is the speaker, you are so misinformed. You are incorrect, completely incorrect. I understand that as Minister of Defense, the current speaker was removed, and I understand that the previous speaker was also removed in accordance with the terms in an event when Parliament of the Republic of South Africa decides to uphold, defend and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic and promote the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic. It is not promoting the unity of the nation when you're keeping fathers away from their children. It is not promoting the unity. It is not advancing the Republic when you support criminal activity done by a few in critical capabilities of state. You are a function, Mr. Xaso, function as according to the obligations imposed by the Constitution. In any event, constitutional obligations must be performed diligently and without delay. Rule 130 of the National Assembly rule is an urgent rule. The provisions imposed on the matter before you are as they are. Stop this nonsense and stop my suffering. Stop pretending as if Cyril Ramaphosa is not the commander-in-chief of the South African National Defence Force. Stop pretending as if Cyril Ramaphosa is not the incumbent commander-in-chief of the South African National Defence Force. Stop pretending. Stop talking lies, Mr. Xaso. Stop it. And grant me a hearing in terms of Section 89 and all other applicable sections that I have explicitly set forth before the National Assembly. The Constitution is the supreme law of the Republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by the Constitution must be fulfilled. Which Constitution are you talking about, when, Mr. Xaso, that makes you allow a parent to suffer, allow children to suffer intentionally so? Which Constitution is that? Stick to the terms before you. You did not hear this particular matter on Friday past as intended. It is now in you, Mr. Xaso. Stop pretending that you don't exist. Stop pretending that you do not know about this video. That applies to all of you members of parliament. You will see this video. Go to Mr. Xaso and say, Mr. Xaso, open that door as secretary to Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele as a person in the Republic of South Africa, as a citizen. Remember the statutory obligations imposed in terms of Section 3 of the Constitution and Section 20 of the Bill of Rights. It's the same thing, Constitution and the Bill of Rights, same thing. Stop this nonsense of making Mangolele to suffer, saying, hey, Umangolele is crazy, what. No, stop it. For the sake of your own children. Stop it. Do you want your children to be asking God, hey, me, I want to struggle for freedom in South Africa, my land, as you have done when I, as a father who is erudite in mind? As a mfundisi of the church, do you want your church to pray and say, Tiko, sifunu sokolela inkululeko eMzantsi Afrika izwe lethu? No, stop it. I want all people to live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. The universe is the space that you are occupying right now as you are watching this particular video. You must enjoy freedom in that space. And everybody in their respective space, wherever they are in the universe, must enjoy freedom. And that source of freedom is the Republic of South Africa. And you must understand that without you, Mr. Xaso, as Secretary of the National Assembly, nothing will happen. If you don't do your job. The only thing that will happen is me running around, going to courts, the courts saying, we are scared to force people to abide by the law. That is what is happening in Republic of South Africa right now. The courts are afraid to uphold the rule of law. They don't want to uphold the rule of law. They say, Mangwalele, continue to suffer. When you want us to uphold the rule of law, be without your children. Be without your money. Let us allow criminal activity to. That is what is happening, Mr. Xaso. You have wrote to me on the 2nd of September last year to tell me that go to the courts. I went to the courts. The courts, they sent me to jail. For doing no wrong. For just only wanting my money of my children and every other thing that is due to me. I am tired of this nonsense. You people treating me like I am not a person. I do not belong. I am tired. I am tired. I tell you. Papa O Teng.